Week two of my journey into the Masters of Responsible AI at OPIT is finally done. Well, at least the classes are. I'm still working on my assignments, and frankly, it's overwhelming. There's a lot going on. One thing I realized really is you have no choice, no, to actually work on all these subjects uh, and to allot time for the whole week for each and every subject or for each and every course. And yeah, I was still able to squeeze in some fun time around Wednesday, around mid of the week, in which my wife and I went to this dance class and we just vibed. So the dance class uh, was on the song from the movie K-pop Demon Hunters, Golden. Yeah, so I was really excited on having that class because K-pop Demon Hunters is, if you haven't watched it, it's awesome. Uh, Surprisingly, we didn't have any expectations of the movie, but when we watched it, yeah, we really enjoyed it, especially the soundtrack. So when this studio near us actually announced that they will have a class on K-pop Demon Hunters, I couldn't pass up, So I'm not a dancer. I just have the confidence, but I'm not really a dancer. So yeah, I apologize for the clips that I'm showing here. But yeah, really had fun there. It's a nice way to actually spend your downtime. But as a consequence of that, it actually ate up some of my time during the week that I could have allotted for fulfilling course requirements. But I'm not really regretting it. Uh, you really need to find time to squeeze those in because it can really be overwhelming. I was expecting, graduate studies to be very, very time consuming, and it would really require a lot from me. But nothing can prepare me for this. But I'm still adjusting, trying to find my groove of how, when, and how I could squeeze in time for uh, readings, working on assignments, of course, attending class, watching asynchronous lectures. But it's been fun. It's hard, but it's been fun. Uh, Actually, I reached out to one of the professors during, there's what they call office hours, in which they allot time within or an hour every couple of weeks for students to come in and just to have that one-on-one with that professor for consultations or whatnot. And I took advantage of where I booked a schedule for one of the professors, specifically the professor for AI and ethics. So it was something that I really wanted to pursue as my dissertation. So I, even this early, on my second week in the master's program, I wanted to have an idea of how and where do I start, with that dissertation. I wanted something about maybe AI ethics or governance, and I asked him, I asked for some insights from him. And the first thing that he told me is to not rush into it, to enjoy the journey here in Opit. But I wanted to say that I've been enjoying all my life, especially in my 20s. I had been partying, just spending money to enjoy life, have those experiences. But at this age, I think it's time for me to actually, be more serious about life. And I learned that in my previous attempt at a master's program. I previously I was a student of the graduate program of Mapua, a school here, or a university here in the Philippines. So I was taking up masters in electrical engineering, and I didn't finish it because I wasn't really serious. During that time, it was just ticking a box. I just wanted something to maybe add to my resume, pad my resume, but I wasn't really serious about it. And when it came to actually working on a thesis, working on my dissertation, it was already too late. The time allotted for actually researching, uh, I couldn't, I couldn't find time to actually pursue that research route, and it's one of the decision points that I had to actually abandon the program. So this time around, I want to change that. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, at least at the beginning, I wanted to have some idea of where to start, and where to find resource material that I could start reading and have a feel of what the what the environment is in terms of uh, research on AI regulation, AI ethics, and governance. So yeah, he told me that to not be in a rush, which makes sense, especially if you're young. Uh, but I followed up with asking if OPIT has access to research journals, because those are going to be very important. If you're into research, you know that some of these research papers are behind paywalls. You have to pay a substantial amount of money to have access to them. So unfortunately, he told me that OPIT is trying to work things out with some of the journals, but currently they don't have access yet. So that's unfortunate, but I could still find a way, or maybe even shell out some money if a paper is worth accessing. But my last question to that professor was if if he knew of some journals that he could advise that I could start looking into, any recommendations. And he gave me a very very good advice, is to actually, instead of trying to find specific journals that I could try to explore, I should instead try to find people, researchers, uh, researchers in the field that resonate to what I'm interested in. So he told me to find those people and follow them, because every now and then they would be putting out papers. So that's a very valuable advice that I hadn't really thought about. So yeah, I haven't really done research on that yet. I'm hoping this weekend I could do that. But yeah, that session was very fruitful for me, very eye opening, and yeah, going to be very helpful, at least even this early in my pursuit of a dissertation. And the rest of the week still was introductory, since last week was more of introduction into the logistics of each course. So this week was more of introduction into the subject matter of each course, which is kind of still light, but it's starting to ramp up. I could feel it. Things are going to be heavier as the weeks pass by, and as the workload and as the concepts pile up on top of each other. So I need to be very, very careful of organizing my week and my time so that I don't get overwhelmed by the schoolwork and by everything. So still kind of anxious about it, but hoping, crossing my fingers, I could figure out a system that would work for me. Um, in terms of the classes, I love that a lot of my classmates are very active in conversations and discussions during each class. I too have been very conscious in being proactive during classes. I don't want to be a typical, uh, you know, like a typical tech person or tech student here in the Philippines, especially, in which a lot of us are very afraid of speaking out, of making our voices heard, because a lot of us are introverts, especially myself, and we are actually afraid of being wrong. So I'm trying to step out of that comfort zone and uh, to try to contribute to the discussions during the classes. And I think it's been working out for me. I've been enjoying the classes. Um, Too much, maybe. Maybe too much, since uh, in one of the classes, the programming in AI, the specific class for coding, I was actually one of the. Uh, let me frame this first. So during that class this week on programming in AI, um, the professor asked for insights from experienced programmers, software developers, on how to learn how to code. So yeah, I raised my hand, shared my insights, and a few more came after me. But at the end of the class, the professor now saw that, okay, you are an expert, you are an expert, you are an expert. So I'm thinking we should have study groups, or coding clubs for the class, so that you guys could help out your classmates or your batchmates who are beginners in programming. So are you willing, or you guys willing to be mentors, student mentors for these coding clubs? So I was kind of surprised, although I am willing. I wanna help other people learn how to code. I mean, that's what this channel is about. That's what my community is about. The Tech Career Shifter Philippines and Free Code Camp Manila and my other communities that I'm a part of. One of the advocacies is to help more people learn how to code. So this aligns with that. So I'm very willing to be one of the mentors on our graduate class. But what I actually answered during the class is for me to try to find a schedule first, when I will be available during the week to actually accommodate um, that session. So of course, I won't be mentoring the whole class. I can't really do that, and I don't think that's going to be an effective use of all our time. But the probably the class would be divided among multiple mentors, so or each mentor. So I'm hoping maybe a maximum of five, or maybe even double that, 10 people per mentor, which I could help out in trying to understand and trying to make it easier for them to transition from being a newbie to someone who's familiar or comfortable in programming. No, you can't really teach, or you can't really have. It's hard to have mastery of programming in just a dozen weeks. That's going to be hard. Not impossible, but hard, especially if you have other subjects or other courses that you're taking. So yeah, realistically, just to have people be comfortable with writing code and being, making mistakes, uh, doing that iterative process of trying things out, then it doesn't work, trying to figure out why, then change your approach, then try it again, then have a different error message, then progress, then learn, and repeat everything until the concepts start making sense. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. But yeah, I'm trying to find still what when in the week, in each week, would I be best available. Uh, Hope I'm thinking maybe some time closer to my time zone, so that I could cover people from maybe China or Hong Kong or Japan, even here in the Philippines, and maybe some from India. So yeah, so that's that. That's the highlight of the week. So I'm still working out some of my assignments here. I've done two out of five, so I have three more. Then after that, I need to start reading up for week three. So yeah, 2 weeks down, 10 more weeks to go. Yeah, we can do this. If you don't notice, I'm really really tired right now. My brain is kind of all over the place, but I promised that I would bring this vlog into life so that other people would see how being a student, a graduate student at Open Institute of Technology looks like. So this is how it looks like. It's it's fun but very exhausting. But I'm really really enjoying it. Especially the discussions. I forgot to tell this before I end. Maybe I could just give you context of why I find this very very refreshing. So I already said before that, especially in more technical courses here in the Philippines, people are very introverted, and often, even if students want to have discussions within the class and with the professor during the class, it often isn't possible. It's it's often the professor just being there and pushing out information one way to students. There's rarely ever any back and forth discussions between students and the professor. Or maybe there's graded recitation in which you are forced to actually raise your hand so that you would get uh, points for recitation. But more of the professor asks, the students answer, and depending on their answer, it could be right or wrong. Nothing really uh, like uh, making the students actually think about a certain problem or a certain issue. Uh, that's rare, especially in my experience. Maybe in other colleges, in other students' experiences, that's different. But from what I experienced, even going to multiple universities, haven't really experienced something like this. And what I also realize is, now that I have more wisdom in terms of experience in the industry, my the things that I share in class often are drawn from these experiences. unlike before when my first go around as at a master's program, I was very new to the industry of electrical engineering. I was a kind of fresh graduate, so I didn't really have anything to impart. So I think that's one of the reasons also why I didn't really get much value out of that program. I couldn't really connect it to industry. So here, at this you know in this current program, now that I'm wiser, now that I've had more experience, and also now that I'm handling a team, uh, I have more to share with people, and connect it with the topic that's being discussed during that class, which is very good, which means I get to extract more value out of the program, while also giving back to the program, and hopefully whatever I'm sharing during class also helps other people, or other my classmates, in the same way that their experiences and their insights also help enrich my understanding of whatever topic is being discussed. So I think that's one thing that I would want others to pick up from this, is that if you're a fresh graduate, yes, okay, you could take up graduate studies, find a master's program that you're interested in, but I think that's going to be more of padding your resume. Uh, Maybe you need it for promotion. Maybe you're gunning for a certain career path, and that's okay. But I think you will get the most value out of it if you've had at least maybe 5 years of experience. Uh, I think that's the best time to actually get into a graduate program, uh, since you could actually relate to what other experienced professionals are imparting. They that knowledge just doesn't fly over your head, and you get to absorb the material more, and you get to appreciate the connection between theory and industry, uh, which I think that's also one of the good points, or good traits of the OPIT program, despite being a graduate, or an academic program. I think at least from the first couple of weeks, they try to tie it to industry. So yeah, I think even if you're a fresh grad, there's going to be things here that you will learn that, okay, I didn't know that this is happening in industry. So I think it could accelerate your learning, and your whatever experience that you don't have currently. It's augmented by the things that you learn here at OPIT specifically, because not all graduate programs are like that. Again, I've been to two universities, University of the Philippines and Mapu University, for graduate studies, and they're so heavy on theory. So it was very hard to actually appreciate. So yeah, well, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching another episode of this vlog, of this journey to masters in AI. And yeah, I'll go back to my assignments, and I'll see you next week. Bye.